Now we will have the denial.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Good morning to everyone.
Amen.
We're going to continue reading from John chapter 18, and I'm starting at 12, from 12 to 27. John chapter 18, reading from 12, verses 12 to 27. Reading as follows. Then the bonds and the captain and the officers of the Jews took Jesus and bound him and led him away to Annas. First, for he was father-in-law of Caiaphas, which was the high priest, and that same year. Now Caiaphas was he which gave counsel to the Jews, that it was expected that one man should die for the people. And Simon Peter, following Jesus, and so did another disciple. The disciple was known to the high priest, and went in with Jesus into the palace of the high priest. But Peter stood at the door outside. Then went out the other disciple, and which was known to the high priest, and said to her that keep the door, and brought in Peter. Then said the damsel that keep the door to Peter, are you also one of the man's disciples? He said, I am not. And the servant and the officers stood there, who had made a fire of coals, for it was cold, and they warmed themselves, and Peter stood with them and warmed himself. The high priest then asked Jesus of his disciples and of his doctrine. Jesus answered him, I spoke openly in the world. I even taught in the synagogues and in the temple, where the Jews always resort, and in secret have I said nothing. Why ask you me? Ask them which heard me what I have said to them. Behold, they know what I said. And when he had thus spoken, one of the officers which stood by struck Jesus with the palm of his hand, saying, answer you the high priest so? Jesus answered him, if I have spoken evil, bear witness of the evil. But if well, why smite you me? Now Annas had sent him be bound to Caiaphas, the high priest. And Simon Peter stood and warmed himself. There said therefore to him, are not you also one of his disciples? He denied it and said, I am not. One of the servants of the high priest, being his kinsman, whose ear Peter cut off, said, did not I see you in the garden with him? Peter then denied again, and immediately the cock crew. Here ends the picture. the denial of Jesus. Peter was so angry, but yet still he was supposed to be one of Jesus' trusted disciples, one that who followed Jesus and went with Jesus wherever he went. Peter denied him. Jesus knew that Peter would have done that because he predicted it way ahead, that Peter would have denied him. But despite all of this, Peter said, no, I would not do nothing like that. I cannot leave, even to death. I will go with you even to death. I cannot do this. I love you, Jesus. But then, when you look at it, the flesh, Peter resort to his fleshly feeling, forgetting Jesus, forgetting God, that we cannot do anything of ourselves. We have to do it with Christ. And he continued to rely on his self-confidence. And then Peter, when he went in, when the other disciples, we believe that it could be John, came back out and carried him in. And then the young lady said,